Hello, and welcome back to this yoga journey. Today's theme will be branching out. We're going to build a strong foundation and we're going to branch out, see the ways that we can grow and different expressions that we can make. As always, we'll start in a seated position. Find your seat in a chair, under a cushion, with both seat bones sitting flat, hips level. Today we're going to learn pranayama, a breath called Ujjayi breath, or ocean or victorious breath. The way I like to think about it is it's kind of like fogging a mirror. So put your hand in front of your face and you make the sound with a slight constriction in the back of your throat, as if you were fogging up the mirror to make a little heart or I love you in it. And you'll restrict on both the exhale and on the inhale. So there's this kind of Darth Vader constriction that's both exhale and inhales. Now we'll be doing that, but with lips closed and through the nose. So there's a constriction, and imagine that you're fogging the mirror. And it might have a slightly audible sound, but again, you're breathing through the nose, but a slight constriction in the back of the throat. We'll take a few breaths like that, seated, doing this Ujjayi breath. And during this breathing, you can imagine that the sound is like an ocean wave coming in, going out. Taking a few relaxing breaths like this, you can close your eyes or find a soft gaze. Imagining the ways that perhaps you could branch out in your life, a new way to express yourself. Continuing to breathe. Relax the shoulders. If the mind wanders, just bring it back to the breath. We'll continue this Ujjayi breath, this slight constriction, as if we're fogging a mirror on the exhales and inhales throughout the practice, if you can. It's okay if you return to breathing normally, but I'll invite you to return to that breath periodically. It can really help kind of calm the whole body in general. We'll begin with a seated side body stretch, bringing the left palm down, right arm overhead. Finding a stretch in the right side body. Inhaling deeply into the ribs, allowing a stretch. Bring both arms overhead on an inhale. And exhale the right hand down, left arm overhead. Inhaling both arms again overhead. Exhale, side twist. Bringing left arm behind the back to help prop up the spine. Right hand to right knee. Twisting using core strength. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhaling, twisting to the right, bringing right arm behind the back, left arm to left thigh. And inhaling, both arms overhead. Exhale, come forward onto hands and knees, tabletop position. We'll do a few rounds of cat-cow. Inhale into cow, exhale into cat. Taking whatever motions feel good to warm up the spine. Going backwards, coming forward. Barrel roll one way, the other. Coming into stillness for just a moment, take a couple breaths here in a neutral tabletop position. And then tuck the toes under. Exhale into downward facing dog. Take a little bit of time to pedal out your dog. Bend one knee and then the other. Finding a stretch in both calves and hamstrings. Finding stillness for just a moment. And then slowly walk your feet forward to the top of the mat, meeting in a forward fold. Bend the knees generously to allow the back to release. Allow the head to hang heavy, crown of the head towards the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, straight spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center in Tadasana. Mountain pose. Tadasana. Take a couple breaths here. From Tadasana, feet hips width apart. Take an inhale, exhale, sit into chair pose. Again, keeping the spine straight. The neck is a natural extension of the spine. Imagining that you're holding a piece of fruit under your chin. It's not tucked down, it's not lifted up. Your hands can be overhead or at heart center or even airplane arms. Take a couple breaths here. And then from here, we'll take a chair twist. Take an inhale and exhale, twist towards the left. You can imagine that your right knee connects with your, your right elbow connects with your left knee. Trying to keep both knees in one line. So when I twist, they're coming together. I don't have my right knee jutting out. Try to keep them in one line together in the twist. Gaze can be down at the floor, to the side, or even at the ceiling. Take an inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Take a second to neutralize. Take another inhale here. And exhale, sit back into chair pose. Couple breaths in neutral. exhale, twisting towards the right this time. Left elbow can connect with right knee. Again, using core strength to conduct the twist. Gaze coming down at the floor, out towards the right, or if it's comfortable, up towards the ceiling. Again, left knee is not jutting out here, trying to keep both knees even. Remembering to breathe. We'll be coming back into this chair twist from a different position, so I want you to remember how this feels. And then inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, plant the hands, stepping back into a plank pose. Lowering down, you can lower your knees all the way to the floor or lower straight down. And then taking a back bend of your choice, you can plant your hands under shoulders. And on inhale, do a slight baby cobra lift. Pulsing a few times. And then tucking the toes, and either with knees planted or pushing all the way up to plank, push back into downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg towards the sky. Exhale, step through the hands into crescent lunge. Inhale, arms up overhead into crescent lunge. And then from here, we'll come into a couple poses we haven't done yet. We'll step the left foot forward just a little bit. The left foot can be out at about a 45-degree angle. Right foot is still pointed straight forward, and the hips are squared towards the front of the mat in Warrior One. We'll take a couple breaths here. And it's going to be at heart center. And then extending the front leg, but keeping a small micro bend in it. We'll hinge forward into pyramid pose, finding a stretch in the back of the right hamstring. Keeping back and spine as straight as possible. Remembering to breathe. Go back to that Ujjayi breath, if you remember from the beginning, the ocean breath. From here, hands at the hips, inhale comes up, stepping back into crescent lunge all the way, left foot back. Exhale, fold forward, hands frame the foot, and then step back into plank pose and vinyasa flow of your choice. Lowering down, baby cobra, or even hands at the side, and airplane into locust. And then finally meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg towards the sky. Exhale, step through into crescent lunge. Inhaling, arms overhead. And then step the right foot up just a little bit. With the right foot's at about 45 degrees. The left foot's pointing forward. The hips are squared towards the front of the mat. Hands at heart center. Warrior One. Taking a few breaths here. And then straightening the left leg, keeping a small micro bend in the extended left foot. Hands at the hips, slowly bending forward over that front leg in pyramid pose. Remembering to breathe. On an inhale, bringing spine back up, stepping back into crescent lunge, arms overhead, and then bringing hands down to frame the foot, stepping the left foot back into a plank pose, lowering down. You can do a couple extra push-ups if you so desire, and then finding the back bend of your choice. Pushing back into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, either walk, step, or hop forward to meet in a forward fold at the front of your mat. Feet hips width apart, head hangs heavy. You can bring both hands to the elbows, or you can even bring your hands to the back of your neck, which can really help the neck to release. From here, with feet planted down, knees bent, inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Tadasana, mountain pose. This pose always feels kind of magical to me. Maybe that's why they named it Tadasana. Oh, just kidding. Okay, grounding right foot down, coming into tree pose. Kickstand the left foot up, bringing the left foot to left ankle. So it can be just floating off at an angle. Don't really need to hike it up too much yet. Maybe you can bring it to the calf. If so, great. Maybe you can bring it up to the inner thigh. Awesome. The only point you want to avoid is you don't want your foot pressing on your knee as shown here. You either want it on your thigh or on your calf. So if you can make it up to the thigh, good, go there. Hands at heart center. Taking some breaths here in this balance pose. And let's branch out. Arms can spread to T. Maybe they go up overhead. What kind of tree are you? Maybe a willow. Maybe a pine tree. Can't see my hands. Maybe they're up like that. Maybe it's breezy. I encourage you to play around a little bit in here. Maybe close your eyes. How does that change the balance if we close our eyes? It's okay to fall out of the pose. Bringing hands back to heart center. And exhale, releasing the left foot down. Take out the right ankle. Take out the left side if you need it too. Finding our magical Tadasana for just a moment. Connecting to that Ujjayi breath. Ocean whisper. And then kickstanding the right foot up this time. Bring the right foot to the right or to the left ankle. You can bring it up to the calf or a thigh. Again, always avoiding the knee. We don't want pressure on the knee. Taking a couple breaths here. Find the balance. You can find a Drizdi, which is an unmoving point of focus. Perhaps it's in front of the computer, above the screen, or even up towards the ceiling. And then from here, branching out, bringing arms out to T. Sway a little bit. Find a willow. Make a pine tree. Whatever kind of tree you want today. Play around a little bit. If you did so on the other side, you can try closing your eyes. See how that affects the balance. Sometimes when we branch out, we don't always know what's going to happen. Sometimes it's like we have our eyes closed. That's okay. even if we lose our balance. You can always get back into the pose. Bringing hands to heart center, taking a breath here, and releasing the foot down on an exhale. Taking the left foot out, take bear twists from side to side. Feel the spine release. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward into forward fold. Walking feet back into plank pose. Vinyasa flow of your choice. And then meeting in downward facing dog. Now I'm going to give a little spoiler alert. We're going to end up in a twisted chair pose like we did earlier. So remember that feeling. Envision that. Envision going into that pose again. We're going to go from a completely different route. So picture that. Inhale, right leg towards the sky. Exhale, step through the hands. Inhaling up into crescent lunge. Taking a moment in crescent lunge to feel rooted, feel strong. Feet are in separate lanes. Both feet are pointing towards the front of the mat. Inhaling hands to heart center from wherever they are. And then from here, we'll exhale, twist towards your right. Connecting the left elbow with the right knee. Taking a moment to breathe here, feeling this twist. Perhaps you see where we're going next. Take your gaze down towards your right foot. Inhale, and on an exhale, step your left foot to meet your right foot in the twisted chair pose. From here, again, you can find whatever gaze is comfortable for your neck. And then bring the weight onto the right foot, making the left foot light. Stepping it back on an exhale, maybe you wiggle a little bit, that's okay. Finding the twist again, and then inhaling back up towards neutral. Exhale, hands frame the front foot, and vinyasa flow of your choice. Maybe some extra push-ups if it's so desired. Meeting in downward facing dog. This time, inhaling the left foot up towards the sky. Exhale, step through into crescent lunge. Inhaling, arms overhead. Take a couple breaths here. Again, feet are in separate lanes. Hips are squared towards the front of the mat and level. Spine is straight, natural extension. Bringing hands to heart center. Take a couple breaths here. And then on exhale, twisting towards the left. Bringing right elbow to left knee. Take a couple breaths like this. Even though I have my elbow touching my knee, the twist is still with my core. I can lift my elbow up. So see if you can keep the twist in the core. And then bring the gaze down to the mat. Inhale, and on an exhale, step forward, bringing the right foot to meet the left foot in twisted chair pose. Good. Take a couple breaths here. Feet are hips width apart. Take one more inhale and exhale. And then bring the weight onto the left foot,
Making the right foot a little bit lighter. Take an inhale and step back on an exhale into a twisted lunge. Good work. Meeting the twisted lunge. And then inhaling, arms up overhead. In a neutral exhale, come forward. Hands frame the foot and step the foot back. Vinyasa flow of your choice. And then this time meeting in devotional pose. Take a second to drink some water if you like, but otherwise in devotional pose, knees are spread wide, ankles are tucked together, and arms are out in front. Maybe you can take this time to reconnect to the breath, the Ujjayi breath, or even start to consider other ways to branch out. Maybe learn a new skill online. Maybe learn a new yoga pose. Maybe you learn to meditate. Maybe you learn to code, who knows? Inhaling into a tabletop position, planting the hands down, tucking the toes under, and exhaling back into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we'll step, walk, or hop to the front of the mat in forward fold. Taking a couple breaths in forward fold. And then inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhale, bring them back to heart centered. Into Tadasana. From here, we'll take figure 4. Bring your weight into the right foot, floating the left toes just a little bit as if we were going to go into tree pose, but instead we'll bring the left ankle across over the right knee and bend slightly. If you need a table or a chair to help balance here, I encourage you to use that. But otherwise, this should give you a nice stretch in the left side of the hip, the outside of the left hip. Keeping the spine straight and lowering down until you find that nice stretch. You want to keep your left foot flexed, so it's not just totally relaxing, it's flexed. That'll help protect the left knee, and then lowering down. Again, the neck is a natural extension of the spine. If it's accessible, you can take your right arm and wrap it around your left foot, again, keeping the left foot engaged. And with straight spine, lifting up, really feeling that stretch. Maybe the left arm can go out to T. Playing around a little bit here. Bringing hands back to heart center, and then bringing left leg all the way over. Step until your left toes are on the right side of your right foot, wrapping around. And then bring your right arm on bottom, left arm on top, into eagle arms. And so our eagle arms can either be like this, or we're simply pulling across, or we can wrap them all the way around, or wherever they're able to meet, into eagle pose. And with eagle pose, here we have the right foot grounded, the left leg's wrapping around, right arm under, left arm on top. And again, our spine is in a natural position, and our neck is not crunched in either direction. You can play with your arm position, bringing them down, bring them up, finding a stretch in the left back shoulder blade. One more inhale here and exhale, unwind everything. Whew. Twisting out from side to side. Shake the right foot out. We'll switch sides now, bringing the weight into the left foot and floating the right foot up and then bringing it across into figure four. Again here, you can see where I flex my ankle and I keep that strong to protect my knee. Hands to the heart center, slowly sitting down, finding a stretch on the right hip. Take some nice deep breaths here. If you did so on the other side, you can cradle your left foot. See if you can stand up just a little bit. Again, we're not rounding the spine here. The spine is nice and straight. Maybe you notice one side is more tight than the other. I certainly noticed that with my hips. Not perfectly symmetrical. And so from here, bringing the right toes all the way down to the left side of the foot, bringing the right leg over top. And then this time, bringing the left arm on bottom, right arm on top. Pull the right arm across. Maybe this is our eagle arms today. Maybe we can bring our wrist forward and bring our left wrist around. Eventually bringing palms to touch. So our left foot is grounded, right leg is twisting over on top, and our left arm is on bottom, right arm on top. Straight spine. Play around a little bit here. Bring the arms forward and down, maybe a little bit up. Continuing to breathe. Take one more inhale and exhale. Release everything down. Shake out that left foot. Whew. Twisting gently from side to side. Release. Inhaling arms overhead and exhale cactus arms, lifting the heart up towards the sky. Inhale, arms up. Exhale cactus. Inhale up. Exhale cactus. Inhale up. And exhale forward fold all the way. From here, we'll find a different stretch of the hips. Keeping both feet grounded. We'll plant the right arm or right hand right in front of the face on the floor. So making a little triangle with my feet and my right hand. And then bringing the left arm up towards the sky. You can slowly straighten the left leg until there's a stretch kind of along the left side and the IT band of the left leg. So your stretch will be along here. And the left arm can be up towards the sky. You can bend the right knee deeply too if that kind of helps to isolate the stretch in the left leg. Taking a few breaths here. And then exhale, bring both hands to center. Bend one knee and then the other. Feeling the differences from side to side. This time planting the left foot right under the, or the left hand, right under the face. Making a little triangle with both feet and the left hand. Inhaling the right arm towards the sky. You can slowly straighten the right leg. And you can deeply bend the left leg if that helps isolate the stretch. Then again here, the stretch will be kind of on the outside of the right leg, hamstring, IT area. Gaze can be down at the floor, side, or towards the ceiling. Take some nice deep breaths here into this stretch. When you feel balance, on an exhale, bring both hands down to the mat. Bend one knee and then the other to help feel neutralized. And then plant hands down and step back into plank pose. You want Yasa flow of your choice. Meaning in downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg towards the sky. Exhale, bring the right knee to your nose. Inhale back up towards the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale up towards the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale again up towards the sky. And exhale, step through into crescent lunge. Inhaling arms overhead. And then stepping forward into Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. The back left foot is off at about 45 degrees. My hips are squared towards the front of the mat. And the front knee is bent. Hands can be at heart center. From here, we'll straighten the front leg. But again, keeping a small micro bend in the front leg. And this time we'll find eagle arms again. So bringing right arm underneath, left arm on top. Again, whatever eagle arms are accessible for you is just perfect. And then from here, we'll slowly bend forward. So we're taking pyramid pose with eagle arms. So you'll have a stretch in your right hamstring. On the left side of your shoulder blade. If that's too much, you can always bring your hands to hips. Or even both hands to the thigh. Otherwise, take a couple more breaths here. And then inhaling up. Exhale to unwind. Stepping back into crescent lunge. Both feet in separate lanes, square towards the front of the mat. Exhale, both hands down, stepping back, vinyasa flow of your choice. Meaning in downward facing dog. Inhaling left leg towards the sky. Exhale, step through into crescent lunge. Inhale, arms overhead. Bring the right foot again into Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Right toes are about 45 degrees. Left toes point straight forward. Hips are squared straight forward. And the left knee is bent. Take a couple breaths here. Then straightening the left leg, but keeping a small micro bend in it. This time we'll bring the other arm on top, which I think was so yeah, you'll bring the right arm on top, left arm underneath, slowly bending forward over the left leg. There's a stretch in the left thigh and right shoulder blade. And if that's too much, you can bring your hands to hips or thigh. Remembering to breathe. Inhale to come up. Exhale releases the arms. Bring hands to heart center. Take an inhale here. Exhale, step back into crescent lunge. And then bring hands to frame the front foot. Step the left foot back into plank pose. And then vinyasa flow of your choice. Maybe you do up dog, cobra pose, or locust pose. Meeting in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, walk, step, or hop to the front of the mat, meeting in a forward fold. And then inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. From here, we'll be coming into Warrior 3. So in Warrior 3, I'll show you from a few different angles. We'll start with hands at heart center. Bring your weight onto your right foot and float your left foot. And you can imagine that your left foot is able to kind of swing freely here. It's on a hinge, and my weight is on my right foot. And then I'll hinge forward, trying to keep my spine and my leg in line as I hinge forward, making like a capital letter T with my body. My hips are squared straight down. Again, hands can be at heart center. They can also be overhead, framing the head, or they can even be in airplane arms right now. This one's kind of fun. You can feel like you're flying over the city. Maybe you imagine that your mat is just a cityscape and you're flying over it. Take a couple breaths here. And then on an exhale, stepping back into crescent lunge. Oh, very good. That's a tough pose. That's a difficult pose, so good work. Exhaling down to frame the front foot. Stepping back. Vinyasa flow. Meeting in downward facing dog. And then again, walk, step, or hop forward to the front of your mat. And then inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Preparing for warrior on the other side, warrior 3 on the other side. We'll bring the weight into the left foot, floating the right foot up. You can rock it back and forth a little bit. Maybe it barely touches the ground. And then with hands at heart center, hinging forward, keeping a small micro bend in the left knee. Hinging forward. Making a capital letter T with the body. And then hands can be at heart center, overhead, or at the flying position. Maybe we're flying over the mat again. Taking a few breaths here, feeling your strength. Take an inhale on an exhale, step back into crescent lunge. Very good, very good. And then bringing hands to frame the front foot, stepping back into plank pose, lowering all the way down onto the belly, and taking a couple moments here to really relax into the earth. You can bring one cheek, left cheek or right cheek to the mat, or you can use your hands as pillows under your forehead. And I encourage you to breathe deeply, deeply into your belly and allow your lower back to release. Imagine that the inhales expand the space between the vertebrae in the lower back. planting hands on your shoulder, pushing back into child's pose, knees together, ankles together, hands by the sides. I like to breathe in the same way here, except this time, bringing the breath to the center of the middle back. And on the inhales, it expands the vertebrae there, creating length in the back of the spine. Coming up to kneeling, and then bringing the feet around, pointing the right foot out, left toes tuck into the right inner thigh. This time we'll have the shoulders squared away from the right foot over towards the left, and we'll inhale left arm overhead, and exhale fold over towards the right, finding both a stretch in the side body and a little bit of a stretch in the right extended leg. Remembering to breathe here. Then inhaling back up to center. Bring both feet in for Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. Maybe flap your little butterfly wings. Use your elbows to push on your thighs to help that stretch on the inner thigh. And then extend the left foot long, right foot tucks into the left thigh. Hips are squared towards the right foot, inhaling arm overhead, and exhale, pull over towards your left extended foot. Finding a side body stretch in the right side of the body, and a little bit of a stretch in the left hamstring. Coming up on an inhale, bringing both feet about hips distance apart, and then tick-tocking from left to right. Windshield wiper the knees, so to say. It kind of helps release the lower back from any tension it may be holding. Coming into boat pose. Feet are just out in front of the hips. Knees are bent. You can grab under the knees to help support yourself. Leaning back, extending one foot, and then the other. Maybe both feet. Maybe your feet knees straighten. Maybe you can let go of the back of your knees. Wherever you're at today, great. And wherever you're at, lift your heart up towards the sky, opening the chest, and then lowering down all the way to the mat, one vertebrae at a time. From here, we'll come into fish pose. So we'll sit up first. And I like to come into fish, bringing my elbows in tucked like this. And as we lean back, the elbows touch the mat first so the chest is lifted. And then allowing the head to relax back. Finding a gentle heart opening here. Take some deep breaths. breaths here. And then exhale all the way down to the mat. Bringing both knees into the body, rolling from side to side. Maybe forward and back. Make little circles, one way and the other. Taking any more movements that you like before Shavasana. I encourage also Happy Baby. If you like Happy Baby, you can know it. You can bring your hands to the ankles or bottom of the feet, and then bring the knees in towards the chest. Roll from side to side, finding a gentle stretch in the hips, as well as a release of the lower spine. And then ending with a final twist, bringing knees above hips. Arms can be at T or at cactus, allowing the legs to fall over to the right side. Keeping the left shoulder glued down. Your gaze can either be at the right, up towards the ceiling, or over towards the left if it's comfortable with your neck. Taking some deep breaths here. Maybe coming back to the Ujjayi breath one more time before Shavasana. Slight restriction in the back of the throat, as if you're fogging a mirror. On an inhale with core engaged, bring knees back up to center, and then allow them to fall over towards the left side. And the right shoulder remains glued down. Gaze can be towards the left, up towards the ceiling, or towards the right. Breathing into the twist. When you feel balanced, and on an inhale with core engaged, bring the knees back into center, and then extend the legs long. Bring the hands by the hips with palms facing up towards the ceiling for Shavasana. You can close your eyes. Release the Ujjayi breath if you used it. Return to a normal, relaxed breath. Just really allowing the yoga practice to absorb into your body. Allow yourself to deeply relax. We'll spend a few moments here.
If you prefer to stay in Shavasana, I encourage you to do so. Take your time, relax. Otherwise, if you plan to come out, begin to wiggle toes and fingers, wrists and ankles, knees and elbows. Bringing your knees in towards your chest and then rolling over to one side. Take a few moments here in a fetal position. Take a moment for self-gratitude for showing up to today's practice. Then coming up to seated. Keeping a soft gaze, or eyes can still be closed. Bringing both hands to heart center and taking a moment of gratitude for all of the people in this world that are continuing to keep our civilization going, all of the people who are working, and all of the people in general that have enriched our lives, our family and our friends. Having a moment of gratitude for the human spirit. As always, I'll be back here on Monday, same time, same place. If you would like to join with a guided meditation tomorrow at 7 p.m. Spain time, 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, Andrew will be leading a meditation via Zoom. I believe we will be doing more visualization, so if you're interested in that, I highly recommend it. That could be a place to branch out. The link to that video is posted in the description of this video. So if you would like to join on that, simply plan on joining us tomorrow at 11. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Thank you again for joining me on this yoga journey. Namaste.